Well, stood the cupboards up in place. They don't fit. That one don't go in. I've got 10-15mm gap down there, but it's tight up against the brickwork at the top there. And here it might just clear at the bottom there, but it's tight all the way up, and I know there's a couple of bricks behind there that stick out a little bit, so what I'm going to have to do is try and chisel some of the brickwork here, see if I can shuffle that up. This unit's plumb at the moment, so I can't just shove it over. So, got to remove some brickwork up there, try and shave a bit off, and that'll come over and probably end up having to shave some off the brickwork on that side as well. But first, before I start doing that, I'm going to hang some of these doors, this kitchen one anyway, because I'm going to be making a mess. These are reclaimed doors, so there's some for the rest of the house there. I can't really go into detail with this, but not a bad fit, but I'll start with the hinge side. I can gain 5mm or so there, and then that nearly goes in the hole, and there's a gap at the top which I'll have to fit, but I'll plane the hinge side first, make it fit in the hole, cut this side if I have to. There's rim locks going on top of here, so it doesn't matter about that. Just before I start fitting this door, just seen an interesting feature. This wall's been skimmed, this architrave hasn't been put on properly because there's plaster on the face here. You see the gap gets bigger and bigger as you go down, and the plaster on the face here, that's going to break off. It's already loose. Yeah. I have here a block of wood and a packer somewhere. This protects the edge of the door there. And a wedge. You want to put your wedge in this way. Sticking out that way. So when you hit it back out, you've got the end of the wedge to hit, rather than trying to hit it here. So you're damaging the door if you're doing that, but you want it sticking out like that. You want to make one of these, just sit your door on, cut your wedge first, sit your door on, put a spacer on there, sit your wedge on top, mark your lines, and cut it out. Try cutting it out and then making a wedge to fit, it just doesn't fit. Right, that's nearly there on the hinge side. So there's a 1mm gap there and a 1mm gap at the bottom for these old reclaimed doors. I think that'll do. But I knew I needed to take some out of the middle, so what I did was put a pencil line there, a pencil line there, and then I cut that with the planer. That now has thrown the top a little bit more parallel. We're nearly in at the top there, but we're still a good 5mm out there. So what I'm going to do, cut that to fit in the hole. And I can lift it up and cut the head to suit the top of the door frame. If you're taking a lot off a door, you want to try and take it off evenly on both sides. I think this one's going to be a case of playing a bit off, lift it up, playing a bit more off, and keep going till it fits in the hole. It's probably what they're all going to be like. Right, you can see it fits in the hole, but it's tight in the hole. I need to plane a couple of mil off each edge. This edge I'm going to give a leading edge to. I'm going to slope it back slightly, so as it passes past the frame, it don't catch on there. I'm going to give the hinge side a bit of one as well, because I'll show you on this door, if you don't put a bit of an edge on there, this bit tends to get gunked up with paint. Hinges get a bit of gunk on them, and it starts binding on this bit here, pushing your hinges away as it closes. So just slope that back a little bit. But yeah, it's nearly there. Just need to take a few mil off, like I say. I'll lift the door up. What I'll do is measure that. That's 15 mil. So what I'll do is put a mark down there on 15 mil and cut it straight across. I just need to give this a bit of clearance. So what I'm going to do is put a pencil line on, about that, run that pencil line all the way down, and then I'm going to carefully try and cut from one end to the other in one pass without getting any lumps. And these doors are still a bit wet, so the planer's ragging it a bit, so I'll either leave it, come back to them later, or I'll try cleaning it up with the hand plane a little bit. I'll probably clean it with hand plane anyway, whether it was wet or dry. Right, just about there to my pencil line, so I'll try it again before I get carried away. It's too easy to take too much off with those things. I went quite slow with that last cut, just try and get a clean face. So there's a bit of clearance there. It looks big, but it's tight on that side. By the time I put the hinges on, a bit of clearance on that side. It should be alright. It's not bad, but what I'll do is put the hinges on, swing it, see how it looks then. If it needs a little bit off, I can plane it while it's hanging, or I'll have to take it off maybe if it needs it off the bottom there. But the top, like I say, that's 15 mil. So what I've done is put a pencil line there, 15 mil down. I'll take it off, get the plunge saw out and bit that off. Then I've got some windbag things that I can put underneath, jack it up, see how that looks. You see, that's the offcut of one of the 1400 tracks that I got. You see, it's just big enough to do a door. Space is a bit tight in here, that's why I use the dust bag. It collects enough. But you see, there's no room for a hoover, no room for a full 400 track. Kitchen's taking up the rest of the space. I'm going to use hinges that the customer gave. They're alright. I'm going to use the pockets that are already chopped into the doors, but they're quite deep. I don't think these came from these doors, I don't know, but they're quite deep. And some on the doors already, on the door frames, but these hinges sit about there, so what I'll do, put these on there, screw the door to wherever it needs to go, and then screw the door on here, just plant them on. I was always taught that you should chop them in because it helps hold the hinge in place, but we'll see. Some people just lay them on. I think that's lazy. Right, I've got my hinges screwed on there. What I'm going to do is offer it up, put it in the hole. Got my windbag things here. This one's got red tape on it because I was having problems with that valve. Don't know, I do like them, but a bit grumpy, a bit temperamental sometimes. So anyway, put them there. Right, pump that up until I get the gap at the top that I want. Let's come up just a little bit more. Yeah, that's a bit better. So now I can mark where my hinges are going to go. So I can mark where my hinges are going to go on the top and bottom. And I don't know, I might just screw it to the frame for now. That one looks really low, doesn't it? That should be 6 and 9 I do it. That one looks okay. That one's really low though. But it was already chopped in, so. Right, it's in. It's hanging. Too tight at the top. And it's tight down this side. That's because I haven't chopped the hinges in. But it's parallel tight, if that makes sense. This gap here is sort of important as well. You shut the door. It's a bit of a gap, so I'll shuffle that over a little bit. But I've only got one screw in each hinge at the moment. So what I can do, it's a bit tight on the top. So what I'll do is release that screw and release that screw, and the whole thing will drop off the countersink. It'll drop just by a few millimeters. I'll try and show you that. Right, so I've released the screw at the top just a little bit, and when I release this one, this hinge will drop down. It'll kick in probably a bit as well. See it go down? So what I can do now, just put a screw in the centre of one of the other holes. Take that one out. And put it more like in the centre of the hole again. You might have to point it down a bit. That should have dropped the door down. I'm still going to have to take it off and chop these in, but at least I've got them in the right position now. I'll do the same at the top. I'll put the other screw in there. You see that's just dropped the door down just enough to give it nice clearance, but I'm still tight on this edge. So now I know these hinges are in the right place. I can mark around them, chop them in a little bit. I need to just chop them in maybe just the thickness of the leaf of the hinge, and I might have to take a little bit off of the knuckle because it's sitting into the frame a little bit there. But I'll chop those in, screw them back on. I'm just going to mark around this hinge. This is old paint that's on here. I don't think it's that old, but I've tried numerous different ways of trying not to make it chip when I chop into it. The only way I found that works in any kind of degree is to go around it with a knife. Some of this wood's a bit crap, so it helps to cut the top grain anyway. It's a bit tight, there's a radiator behind here. But you see, you're going to get chipping of the paint, whatever. I've never been able to find a brilliant solution for that. Needs painting and decorating anyway. I've only got to chop a little bit out of this, but what I'll do, if I put the chisel in there that way, it'll crease over that far edge. If I put it in that way, it'll want to drift because of the bevel on the chisel. Same with there, if I put it in that way, it'll go down. If I put it in that way, it'll want to go up. So what I'm going to do is take away a lot of the wood, release the pressure, so when I do put the chisel in there, it'll go this way a little bit easier, if that makes sense. I thought that was filler. Anyway, just a little bit at a time. Good. Right, so now I'm nearly to my line. I can put my chisel flat side in and clean the hole up. I'll do the top. Can't show you that because the tripod don't reach. Right, that's in. Got quite a nice gap down there. I haven't fiddled with it yet. It's not a bad edge. I might just sand it. I need to sand the iris off the outside here, the sharp edges. The gap at the top's okay. It's not going to get painted, so I'm not worried that it's too tight. It's a little big down here, tighter at the bottom. That hinge could do with chopping in maybe a fraction more, but then that would throw this out. So I'm not going to do that, because I think that's a nice edge at the moment. Those pipes are going to get boxed in, which is going to be fun. So I've got to get a timber down there. Right, this door, it's not going to be that much to show on it. It's been hung the other way around, but the light switches are there, so they'll want it swinging this way. So it'll just be a case of chopping in for the hinges on this side. I think this is a new casing that they had in at some point. The leading edge is going the wrong way, so by the time I've planed that the right way around, if I plane it at all, because that gap's alright, it looks like it'll go in the frame there. The head's a long way out, so I'll take the hinges off, put it in the hole, see what it needs. It'll just be a case of Plane it a little bit off here and there, make it go in the hole, lift it up, cut the head to the right height. Don't know what's happening in here, whether they're putting carpet or floorboarding, but there's quite a decent gap up there, so I'll leave the gap at whatever it finishes at for now. Then whenever they put carpet down, it might need trimming off. I've taken the hinges off, just stood it up in the hole. It's a bit tight, which in a way is good. But what I've got to do, I normally would work off the hinge side, get that straight, and then do the clapping edge. But on this door, that clapping edge is pretty straight. It's not bad anyway, but somewhere there's a big bow in the middle of this, so like I say, I'm going to try and make that parallel, make that sit in the frame something like parallel, and I'm going to plane this side so the whole thing just slides over a little bit. Then I'll think about the head. Right, so I've got the hinge side fitting fairly good. That windbag's just leaking all the time. Crap things. Good idea, but you see, just leaks. Right, so I've got a fairly parallel gap down there, but like I say, the leading edges see, bloody windbag. Stick an hammer through it. Right, so I'll just plane a little bit off that edge. Make sure that leading edge is going the right way. I'm going to leave that side as it is. Yeah, that windbag's doing me in. Right, I've got a parallel gap down there. Maybe a fraction tight at the top, I can't tell because that bloody windbag keeps leaking. But what I'll do again is measure that gap there, that's about 15mm again. So there, I'll put a pencil mark again, 15mm, rip it off. Right, I've cut the head, that fits. I've got a fairly parallel gap down there, maybe fraction wider at the bottom, but I can run the plane up there, run my hand plane up there. It's hard to see on this waxed wood, but I've transferred the marks where the hinges are going to go. I can transfer those marks over onto the frame. Same at the bottom. I'll chop in this hinge. It won't need much because it's already chopped in at the other side. Then I'll chop in the frame using these marks that I've made. And I can hang the door. Gap's slightly tight at the top at the moment, so what I'll do is release it using my other windbag that seems to be holding tight. So yeah, it's that one with red tape on it. that one with red tape on it. It's never been good from day one. I've got another 2 in the van, so if that one starts messing me around, I'll have a go with the others. But once I get this door hung, I'm going to start chopping the brickwork in on those cabinets. I'm not going to put the keeps on, put the rim locks on. Not today. Let's see what the customer thinks first. Because rim lock's going to go up there. So there'll be a big hole here. She'll probably expect me to fill that in. But it'll never match this wood, so don't know. Right, that's in. Gaps are quite good. Fitted a lot better than I thought it would. It's a mark from the hinge. It's going to get decorated anyway. Chop the hinges in up there. Down at the bottom. Needs the sharp edge taken off. The rim locks to go on, but there's no handles for them yet. So that's that. So I've run a pencil line down here. See if I can get that to go back. Right, I bought a comb chisel. So with the other ones that I've got, I'm hoping these will do. This isn't the one that I wanted the one from Screwfix, but this is from Tool Station. Don't know how that'll work, but we'll see. Looking at my pencil line, that's just plasterboard, so that looks like it'll be okay. That's plasterboard. I think just take the nibbles off. But then the worst bit here are these bricks. So I'm hoping that it's just a case of taking the face off these, and then same again up here. It's this brick and this brick. I think that one's okay. So we'll see. Shifting these units around without breaking the legs is a bit awkward. Quite heavy. So I don't want to do it too much. Done that. That Heller drill, that tooth drill, did alright. Just rounded it a little bit. I think it'd be good for the other side. I've got enough that side, but I've done enough on that side, I think. I hope. There's still maybe a lump there. I'm going to try this cupboard in, see what it looks like. Right, that's in. I'm happy with that. Tie it up there. And it's plumb, near enough. Plumb that way. And if I sit this on top of there, so it's up against the wall there, it's up against the wall over there. That is 77, 78. And that's the same, 77, 78. So we're running straight. So this isn't twisted like that, giving a false reading there. But I'll put this one in, put this next one in, up against this, and see how that one fits. Right, yay, they're in. Didn't have to cut bricks off that side, just taking those bits off that side was enough. But they're in. And the last one is plumb. I haven't checked it yet, so that's a surprise to me. I haven't put one on the top yet, so see what happens. That's not bad. Maybe a little tweak and get them screwed together. That's good. I'm covered in crap, red dust, so I'm going home for a shower. Next, I think I want to get this wall skimmed, pull these units away, get that skimmed. Might do the boxing first and skim up to it, might not, we'll see, maybe just put a 2x1 up the wall there.